Well, you can't really call yourself a designer if you haven't really gone through a bunch of amendments before. But if you're a designer, either you have to submit your work to your boss, your editor, or your creative director, or the client. It can be really frustrating if they spot these mistakes in your work. And before I tell you what they are, please do give this channel a like and subscribe if you haven't yet. It's the right thing to do. So let's get started. If there's a brand guide, just don't break it. It exists for a reason, and someone just spent a long time creating that brand guide, you know, especially if it's very comprehensive, if the brand is big enough. So there's no harm in following it, just do it. It's gonna be a hassle to point that out to you. So yeah, layouts. So that's the first thing that people are gonna see in your work, and this is tied to a hierarchy as well. I've mentioned that in another video. Like, if your layout doesn't make sense, people might not be able to focus on a brand as much as they can. That cannot happen if you're doing a bad job at guiding their eyes to it. I'm sure you've wondered before, like, how come my design doesn't look the same as this reference? I've used the same font, I've typed out the same words, but it just doesn't look as nice. Well, that's because of leading and kerning. Yeah, the who knew the distance between each letter and line was really important, right? Well, they really make a huge difference if you do them right. It might be a bit tough for you to master if you're into this design thing really early on, but honestly, it doesn't take a long time to pick up, so look into that. Well, we've all been here. We try to pass off something simple because yay, minimalism, right? It still looks good. Well, people can tell if you're being lazy with the design. If you don't feel like designing something, especially your bosses, be sure to have an answer for every decision that you made on your design, because everything needs to have a purpose behind it. Like, even if you're going with minimalism, there's lazy minimalism, and there's also minimalism that looks expensive. So be sure you know what you're doing, do some research, be prepared to answer some questions. And finally, do be sure to check out your contrast and legibility, because if you can't read it, then what's the point, right? And this is very important. Spelling, like, it might not even be your responsibility to like spell check, but if you don't have the luxury of having an editor or someone checking your work, people are going to blame it on you. I mean, just use Grammarly, like I've been using it, it's fine, and that's enough. So yeah, those are 5 things that you definitely need to check before you submit your work to anyone. I really hope it helped you. Good luck in your next submission. Jangan marah. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.